Hi, it's Jane here from craftwithjane.co.uk, and today I am bringing you a project which is a FlipTop small box, and this project is part of the Pootles team video hop, and if you follow the links below you'll be able to continue the journey watching all of the other YouTube videos from my fellow demonstrators within the Pootles team. If you like this video, I would love you to show that you like it by pressing the like button. Please comment. I'd be delighted if you could subscribe as well. So why are we doing this project? So we are doing a Pootles video hop to celebrate the mini catalogue launch. So this is a copy of the mini catalogue here. It does say July to December, but it actually is August to December. Lovely catalogue. It's got lots of seasonal products in it, quite a lot of Christmas products, but also great for autumn and other seasons as well actually. So it does have products in here that are all year round suitable. And also we have Celebration, which runs from the 3rd of August to the 30th of September. So this is where you can earn free products with a spend of over £45, £45 or more, and excluding postage and packaging, and you can actually qualify for free products on top of your order. So this is a brilliant time to shop. If you would like to shop with me, please follow the links below. If you would like to have copies of the catalogues, you can actually follow the links to my blog and you can get online versions there. If you prefer hard copy, then you can request one through my contact me pages. So to get on with the project today, this is my favourite little box. It's a FlipTop small box. I make these all the time and I stack them normally full of little goodies. So as you can see, it's got a lovely triangle sort of shape at the end here, and it sort of creates a nice suction onto the box. You don't need the ribbon to hold it shut. It kind of does that by itself. It's 2 inches here, 2 inches tall, and 4 inches wide. So nice little box, and you can see inside there, and it can hold quite a lot of sweets at Christmas, which is what I normally put in there. So mini candy canes, little Christmas Santa chocolates, things like that. I'll pop in there and I'll gift them out to people. So that's my project. I am going to use some of the free Celebration paper that you can get today, and this is some samples of the paper. It's absolutely lovely, and this coordinates with one of the products in the mini catalogue called Peaceful Dear, and this paper is called the Peaceful Prints paper, and it's 12 by 12, and you have 12 sheets of this paper, and there's 6 double-sided designs. There's actually 12 designs, but you have different designs on the back of the paper. This is the paper we're actually going to be using today. I love this paper, and that's the back of it here. And I also really love this paper as well, with the deer on it. And the Peaceful Dear bundle comes with a fantastic stamp set, which is this one just here, and it also coordinates with a fantastic punch, which punches out a deer, and you can see that it'll punch out some of these deers as well, just here. So great coordination in the products. So this is Celebration paper, so you can get this free with a £45 spend. So you could buy the bundle and a few little bit extras, and then you could get the paper on top for free. So what a great opportunity there. Okay, so I'm going to bring my scoreboard on, and I have my cardstock for the box here, and it is measuring 9 3/4 by 8. So I will score the long side first, and I'm going to score it at 2, 4, 2, 4, 6 and 8. So 6 and 8. Then I'm going to turn it, and I am going to score it at full length. I'm going to score it at 2 and 6. And then I'm going to do some partial scoring, and this is to create the lid to help me know where to be cutting. So I'm going to do 1/4 inch, and I'm going to score it all the way to the second score line. Then I'm going to do 1 1/2, and that just goes to the first score line. Then I'm going to do 6 1/2 just to the first score line, and then 7 3/4, and that is to the second score line. So it's sort of following, it's a little grid there, and it's matched on either side. So I'm actually going to start the cutting with my paper snips before I do any of the burnishing. So I'm going to cut all the way down here. So I'm going to turn this over because I find it easier to follow the lines on dark paper on the reverse side. So I'm going to cut it all the way down here. Perfect. There you go. Oh, didn't quite go into the corner here, so I'm just doing it. There we go, lovely. And I'm going to do the same this side. Sorry, couldn't get my... I'm going to come back to that one because I'm right-handed and it's a bit awkward. I'm going to cut this away. There you go. Lovely. So I'm going to go back to this one and I'm going to continue cutting all the way. Lovely. I'm just going to cut into the corner. Perfect. And I'm going to do the same on this side. So I'll cut here. I'll take this here. There we go. So I now have the basic shape here. So I'm just going to continue cutting into here and I'm going to mitre these ends just like that. Lovely. Just snip it off at the end there. Do the same this side. There you go. Perfect. So now I'm going to cut up all the sides here. So I will cut up here and just here. And then I'll cut up this one as well. So this one here, I'm going to take off about a third and I'm going to mitre. And then I'm going to do the same with this second one here. So I'm going to take off about a third and I'm going to mitre. There we go. I'm just going to remove some of the waste. So you can see the pattern on this side, and I'm going to repeat that pattern on the other side. So I'm just going to turn it over. Just neatening up a little bit that looks a little bit rough there. And I will continue to cut this side. So I will cut here. I will cut along this one. Just there. And I'm going to cut along this one as well. Great. And then I'm going to take a third off here, approximately. I'm going to mitre that one. And I'll mitre this one as well. There you go. Lovely. Same with this second one along, back approximately a third, and mitre in, and mitre in. There you go. Take those bits off, get rid of all my waste products there. So that is your basic structure of the box just there. Now I'm going to get my bone folder and I'm going to fold and burnish. Just along these creases. So this will be my basic box structure and then these will be my tabs. Now some of these tabs are going to need to be cut still, so to make the box lid. So these two just at the ends here are going to make the box lid, so I'm going to need to cut across them here to make that triangle to fit nice and snugly over like that. So I'm going to get my little trimmer, which is just here, and I need to work out from where my cutting needs to happen. So my cutting needs to happen basically from this end to here. So I'm going to try my best to fold these in and to create that cut. So, sorry if my head's in the way, guys. So I'm going to take it to the edge, corner to corner, and I'm going to make the cut. So there is one of my triangles. And I'm going to do the same, and it needs to be the same angle with this one as well. So I need to be a mirrored angle to create the top of that box. So apologies if my head is getting in the way. There we go. So that is that. Takes a bit of lining up, and normally I'd be staring on top of, but obviously because I'm doing it at a slight angle because I'm videoing, it makes it a bit trickier. So there we go. Now I'm also going to need to trim a little bit more off these just here. So I'm going to get my snips back out, and I'm just going to make these a bit of a deeper. There we go. A little bit of a deeper, and then I'll check both of them to make sure that we have clearance when I glue. Yeah. So you can see there's going to be no issue once I glue that into place. And again on here, nope, no issue when I glue that into place. Fantastic. So I've got my little mini trimmer. So this mini trimmer you can't actually purchase from Stampin' Up. This I actually bought through the demonstrator website. So when you become a demonstrator, you actually have the option of buying merchandise that isn't sold to customers, and this was one of those things that we could purchase. So I use mine quite frequently. So if you're interested in becoming a demonstrator, I'd love you to join my team. It's fantastic discounts. Also, you can obviously grow a business. You can sell to people if you wish to. You can grow your own team. But a lot of people join just to purchase the products, and that at a great discount, and to be, have product release early so they can have access to products sometimes a month before anybody else, any customers do. And also there are special things that you can buy that you can only buy if you're a demonstrator. So it's pretty exciting and pretty good. So I am going to glue. So I think I'm going to use some adhesive tape for this. So I'm still on this fantastic roll. This is my next roll ready to go. So I will see if this one lasts this video. So I'm going to find the end. And I'm just going to tape up some of the areas that I know will need to be glued. There we go. So I know that one's going to need to be glued because that will form my lid just like that. This one will need to be glued, and this one will need to be glued just to these, just here. So I'm going to glue both of these tabs. So I'm going to put some tape on both of them, and I'm going to put it in 2 spots. So I like to use tear and tape or Stampin' Seal Plus for 3D projects because I just think it adds a little bit more stability. They're fantastic glues. You can definitely use your any other adhesive really, but your Tombow would be, your multi-purpose liquid glue would be ideal as well. But for ease of completing this project and not allowing any drying time, I'm going to use tape today. Here we go. So I'm going to get my pick tool to help me remove the tape now. So if you bear with me a second, I will, apologies if my head's in shot, just trying to lean over to get the tape out of the way. So I could be here a while getting this tape off. So I'll try and be as quick as I can. So I do like to get a step ahead with some of my Christmas crafting. So I know it feels quite early, and we're in the certainly in the UK, we're in the midst of our summer, which is quite impressive. And we have quite warm temperatures. We're not really geared up for heat, so we're very geared up for cold, and we're geared up for wet as well. We do both those weather types in exception in the UK, but we are less geared up for excessive heat. Although, I mean, I live very close to the coast, so it is beautiful to be able to go into the sea in this weather and to just, enjoy a day at the beach. So I'm quite fortunate. So there we go. So yeah, but I still do like to do a little bit of Christmas planning, even this far ahead. So I am about to build my box shape. So I'm just going to take the glue to the edge of the box, just just make sure that it's lined up neatly, as neatly as I can. And then I'm just going to press in and do the same here. Perfect. And then this is the final piece. Sorry if I'm a little bit off shot, it's difficult for me to see over. There we go. So that is the basic box structure there. So now I'm going to do the lid. So first of all, I'm going to fold this down, and I'm going to just fold both of my pieces in to make sure I can get a snug fit, which I can. And then I'm going to try and meet this up quite nicely just there. And I'm going to try and do the same this side as well. There we go. So both of those edges are down there, so you can see follows a similar shape and pattern to that. And then I'm going to just flip it up just to double check. Yep, perfect. And it does have a nice seal to it, a nice sort of sensation of a fit, a perfect fit, and that it's not going to loosen. So that's the basic box structure. Okay, for my matte layers, I have pre-cut my DSP out. So I've got 2 layers here, which are 1 7/8 inch by 3 7/8 inch. And I've got 1 layer here, which is this is for the lid, and this is 1 5/8 inch by 3 7/8. And then I've got 2 corner pieces here. So these triangles I have cut to fit. I'll put the measurements on my blog because I don't actually have them to hand, so please follow the links to my blog below. Also, for anybody wanting to work in metric, I will put metric measurements on as well. So I'm going to glue these to the box. So I'm going to use my Tombow liquid glue for this because I do need a little bit of maneuverability. So I'll start with my front layer, which is going to go on the front of my lid. So this is a thin layer of glue there. So this is multi-directional paper, so I could technically lay it any which way I wanted to. And you can see I've left a little border around it because this paper has black in it. I just thought it looked quite good. I'm then going to just check. Yeah, that piece fits beautifully. So I'm just going to put another piece on the top. Just put some glue on it. Oh, quite juicy, that bit of glue there, so I have to be careful with that. Okay, so I'm just going to put this one down. Yep. Wiggled it around a little bit too much there, I think. So a little bit of seepage. So I'm just going to take off my finger just there. There we go, that's fine. And then I'll pop one of my triangles on. So I'll just check which way round. And that looks to be perfect, so pop a little bit on here. There we go, so a little bit just there. Such pretty paper, I just love this look. And then I'll pop another one on here, and with the black behind it as well, it feels like I could give it to a grown-up. It's not quite so childlike. Not sure if that's just me, but you know, you could do this in white, you could do it in red to complement the paper, you could do it in an opposing colour. I just think it looks quite nice with the black. And then I'm going to pop a piece on the back as well. So I just cut a piece out here which will fit on the back. If you've got directional paper, so I use directional paper in my previous example, so my demo one, I'll just show you now. And you do have to be a bit more careful when you're cutting out to make sure that it is in the correct direction. So as you can see, the trees need to be facing the right way. So yeah, I was a little bit more careful about where I cut with that one. So yeah, that is there. So I would normally give that a little bit of time to dry then before I started fiddling some more. So just check, we're still good, we're still opening up and shutting quite snugly. Perfect. Okay, so I'm now going to decorate. So I showed you the stamp set earlier and the punch, and I felt like I'd quite like a deer on the front. So I'm going to use that deer, and I'm going to use the antlers here. and I might cut out some snowflakes. We did carry over some snowflake wishes stamp set and dies from last year, and I think I'm going to use some of the lovely snowflakes just here, possibly on the box as well. And I cut out the deer, and I've used the Merry Christmas here. So I'm just going to have a look where I'd like to place this. So it could go on the front there, but I quite like it on the top personally. So I might pop it there, and I might put a snowflake coming off maybe from that angle, and possibly one down here. Yeah, I think that's what I'll do. So I'm going to glue the snowflake to start with. Just pop a few dots on the back of it. Okay. So it's come out as it normally does for me, quite generously. So I'm just going to spread it with my finger, and I'm just going to pop it just hanging off the edge a little bit there. So the ribbon that I'd like to use for this is going to be the glittered organdy ribbon, and it's the black one, and it's got the lovely silver sparkly bits in there. So I'm going to, you don't need this ribbon to hold it, but I quite like the ribbon being there, so I'm going to cut it once I've tied it. And I think I'm just going to tie a knot, because it doesn't have a lot of space for me to tie anything other than a knot. So there we go. You could cut this off. You don't need to do it when it's still on the spool. I do that because it's a bit easier for me, but you could cut it off if you felt that it would be easier to maneuver the bow. So there we go. That's there. So that looks, I mean, that looks quite cool in its own right, doesn't it? You could just pop a little bow. You just put that there, and that's enough in its own right to look quite pretty. I'll just straighten up the ribbon. But I'm going to pop my little guy on here as well, my little deer. So I'll probably pop him about there. I'll get some mini Stampin' dimensionals, I think, to pop on the back of him, pop some down by the legs and by the head. So not many, but just enough to secure him, and to try and leave a little bit of space for the ribbon. There we go. So I'm just going to take these off the back here. There we go, they're off, and I'll just pop him there, I think. I think that's quite sweet, I like that. And then I'm going to possibly glue my little snowflake just down here. So I'll pop a little bit of glue on the back. I really am going to try and be careful. There we go, it's a bit better. There's much more moderate application from me there. So I'll just have that slightly off the side and there. So that is technically, as it's called, the beautiful glitter, and that is technically the box finished. However, if you wanted to, you could put a tiny little red nose on this guy. So to make him very Christmassy and very Rudolph-like. So these are the matte decorative dots that you can get in the new mini catalogue. And I'll get my pick tool, and I'm going to pick, going to come out, and I'm going to get, you see these really tiny little red ones? So they would sit quite nicely, I think, on the end of the nose to make it very Rudolph-like. There we go. I think that finishes it off quite nicely. So that's the project today, guys. It is my little Christmas treat box, and I'm calling it a FlipTop small box. And as I said, this is one of my staple boxes. I absolutely love creating this box, and I love giving this box. So I'll pop my other one back on. So I'll put my other little box back on as well for you. You can see it's sort of in the FlipTop element there. And this is my project. So I'd like to thank you for watching. I'd really like to encourage you to watch all of the other videos in the hop of the Pootles team today. And I'm going to say bye. So bye everyone, and happy crafting.